In the past 10 months, many have speculated whether it was at all possible to stage another green event in Copenhagen after COP15, the UN Climate Summit, which took place in these very rooms. Today, we have proven them wrong. There is a great appetite out there to discuss sustainable solutions and climate change and environmental challenges. This year, we have a very big turnout of delegates representing more than 30 countries. We have delegations from Russia, Korea, China, the US, and other countries. We have approximately 100 speakers and a number of strong partners and sponsors to support us. That to us underlines that wherever we see since last year, we might use new words and new approaches, but the fundamental drive to put the economy on a more sustainable path is there. It's now my pleasure to invite Anders Eldrup, CEO of Dong Energy, on stage. He is an outstanding private sector leader heading one of Europe's leading energy companies and, by the way, the world's biggest developer when it comes to offshore wind. Dong Energy has supported this conference from the beginning, so please, Anders, come on board and introduce our first keynote speaker.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. As said, the outcome of COP15 was not exactly what most of us had hoped for. But even though no great decisions were taken, even though the problems have not disappeared, they are still there. There are three big fundamental questions. How do we secure sufficient energy for a world which needs more and more and in growing numbers of energy? How do we secure clean energy? And how do we secure that the development of the energy sector can maintain and develop the job creation we need so desperately in our economies? So these are very fundamental and essential questions, and they have not gone away. Therefore, the issue to lean back and say, okay, there were no agreement in Copenhagen as we had hoped for, therefore we wait and see. That issue is no good, and that does not work. The other way we must go around is to say it would have been nice if we have had such a global agreement. It was very ambitious, because then we would have the rules of the game and we would know what to do. We didn't get that agreement, and probably we won't get it in this year or next year either. So we must find ways to make things happen without a global set of rulings. That means that the green growth is necessary, is essential to develop these and tackle these three fundamental questions. But we will have to do it ourselves. We who think things are necessary to move, we will have to make it happen in the positive way, to develop a positive social change that can make people walk in the direction needed, not because of legislation, because it's not there, but because they can see and sense that this is the right way to go. Having said all these things, of course, is because our next speaker is just the man to touch on these issues. Back in 2004, he wrote, together with a colleague, he wrote the article, The Death of the Environmentalism. And so maybe we should have listened more to you last year, because actually you already, before the COP15, foresaw that it would not be a smooth walk to handle it the way we saw it last year. In 2007, you wrote a book saying why we can't leave saving the planet to the environmentalists. Maybe we also should have listened to that before the COP15. But nevertheless, now we are where we are, and in 2008, for very good reasons, the Time magazine appointed you to Hero of the Environment, which is a very big thing, and it was very the judgment that gave this to you. The next speaker is Nordhaus, And as you can sense, he will give us a lecture showing us how do we make things happen when we don't have a global legislation. We cannot scare people about the ice melting. We must find new ways to make this happen, this green revolution which is needed to make this happen in a positive way and in a cooperation between all the stakeholders as represented here. It's a great pleasure to leave the floor to you, Ted.